Hello, this is Daniel Holleran with Emet Ministries, EMET, that's the Hebrew word for truth. This is a January 2014 update on the coming San Francisco earthquake and tsunami, and I'm going to touch on a couple other topics as well. One thing the Lord did was He put me in a building, and it was two towers, and He had me notice the signage in the distance, and it said North Tower. So I was in the South Tower. So the Lord had me go to another facility that had two towers, and I had an appointment in the South Tower. Now, why is that significant? Because, as I said, this disaster, when it hits America, this coming tsunami and earthquake to San Francisco, it will be relative to what happened on 9/11, but much greater. And on 9/11, the South Tower was the tower that fell first. Okay? Now, San Francisco is also known as the city of sourdough, and leaven in the Bible denotes sin. God kept showing me the word snap or snapshot. And that has to do with how the plates will snap and suddenly give way and cause the earthquake. And He gave me this sentence verbatim yesterday, the 10th of January 2014. Judgment shall take place in the city of San Francisco and county of San Francisco. That's verbatim from the Lord. He's been showing me combinations of orange and black. And of course, orange is warning, black is destruction. But now He's heightened it to red and black. Red is death, and black is destruction. Okay? He gave me the phrase, a map test. And this has to do with how California will be reordered. The geography of San Francisco will change. He had me pick up this book. The title of it is A Crack in the Edge of the World. And it is about the great San Francisco earthquake in 1906. Okay. Now, the author is Simon Winchester, and he's also authored a book on Krakatoa, so that is not good. The Lord just had me, this book is over 400 pages long. It's only got a handful of pages on the New Madrid earthquake, which struck America in 1811, 1812. I just opened it like that without looking, opened right up to a page on the New Madrid. And you remember I mentioned how the New Madrid, there was a steamer, a steam wheel by the name of New Orleans, and this is prophetic as well. Destruction is going to come to San Francisco and New Orleans, okay? So I'm going to touch on the New Madrid. Now, the New Madrid, I did a sermon years ago when President Bush was president, and it had to do with the Lord said, I want you to study the four major peace conferences. New Madrid, or the Madrid Peace Conference, I've given it away. The Madrid Peace Conference, Annapolis, White River, and Oslo. And the Lord had me get a hold of the man John McTernan, who wrote the book on As America Has Done Unto Israel, both good and bad. And so I asked his permission in order to use some of his excerpts in his book for my sermon. He gave me permission, but then what the Lord showed me was that the New Madrid fault line is the same word as the peace conference. So what that means is this fault line, even though it's gone off before, this fault line will be used to physically separate America in half, should we separate Israel proper. And it will happen because it's in the Word. Okay? And I'm going to jump to something here. There's a very prominent Jewish community in Omaha, Nebraska. Very successful Jewish community. Prominent businesses like Nebraska Furniture Mart, Borsheim, so on and so forth, which Warren Buffett now owns both. But anyway, the Lord told me to show you this. This is the Jewish press. Okay. This is a publication put out. And you can see the Lord had me tear this up, not to disparage the publication, but as an example. Let's see if I can put this together. This is a picture of Orthodox Jews who met with President Obama in the Oval Office. And the title was Commitment to Israel. Well, President Obama, the non-resident president, okay, is not a Christian, okay, and he is no friend of Israel. He's no friend of the Jewish people, okay. He's a Muslim. I'm not saying that there aren't Muslims that are not friendly towards Jews, but he is not pro-Israel, okay. And if he abandons Israel, this is what's going to happen to America, okay. The new Madrid fault line will literally, physically split America in half, because Yahweh always has to have his witness in the earth. Okay? And people don't like that when you say Barack Obama is not a Christian. Well, the test of a Christian is the fruit of a Christian. Okay? If you close your eyes and you smell the fruit of abortion and the fruit of sodomy, are those Christian fruits? Well, obviously they are not. Okay? If you get in a vehicle that's called a Cadillac, but it doesn't ride like a Cadillac, doesn't sound like a Cadillac, doesn't feel like a Cadillac, is it a Cadillac? Only in name. Okay? Now, the Lord gave me a very interesting appointment. I met with a man, and he had an Arab headdress around his neck. Okay? I believe they pronounce it as a keffiyeh, and there's several names for it. They even pronounce it as it's spelled as Shema, which is actually the Jewish blessing. Okay? It's not quite spelled that way, but one could read it phonetically that way. Okay? Which is ironic. Okay? And it is this man was sitting before me, and I was intently looking at it. God allowed this. Well, this headdress that he wore, this Arab headdress, has a fishnet pattern to it, okay? So what I'm going to do when I return, have your Bibles open to Jeremiah 16. This has been Daniel Holleran with Amet Ministries. This has been a January 2014 update on the coming earthquake to San Francisco and tsunami, and I'm going to touch on the New Madrid problem, and also going to get into some other subjects.